What is up, and welcome to Not Another CFB Pod. This is the first edition of the Weekend Roundup. We are now under the Coda Sports Gambling Network umbrella. Couldn't be more proud. It's a great group of guys. I announced a lot of it on Twitter already, at Potato Gobbler, if you didn't already see that. But just thrilled to be a part of this group of cappers. It's a great group of sports gamblers, and it's also just a great website to go. Check out a variety of sports. CodaSportsCappers.com. It's a great place to find good picks, like the one I gave out the night of recording this. Gave out Toledo -7 there on the site. That smash, that was pretty easy. There's a little sweat at the end. Horrible broadcast, by the way. This was on ESPN Plus. Most people probably didn't catch it, but there were glitches the whole time. The screen was going black, coming back. The commentators were losing audio. There was never a line of scrimmage or first down line on the screen anywhere. A lot of time the score bug at the bottom of the screen wouldn't even be on the screen. Brutal showing for ESPN Plus. I can't believe I pay for it, but I do. Here I am. What can I say? I've got a problem. I watch too many sports, and nothing wrong with that. So what this show is, the Weekend Roundup. Basically, I'm going to go through last week's big plays, maybe some big upsets that happened, things like that. I'm going to also talk about the college football playoff. Since we're in this phase of the season, going forward, this will come out a little earlier, but I can't do that now that we're in CFP season because I do want to let you guys know the new CFP standings and what I think of them. This is going to be a fun show. Like I said on Twitter, I'm now going to have two shows. So this show that comes out on Wednesdays is going to be the Weekend Roundup. Then on Friday, we're going to drop the PG's picks. We're going to drop the plays like we always do. 6 picks coming in hot for you guys. I was 4-2 last week, so staying a little bit hot right now. It's a good time to invest in PG, I say. I mean, I don't know. Before we get in too deep, I want to talk about the sponsor of this podcast. Not Another CFP Podcast is sponsored by Rogue Energy. Rogue is an alternative to sugary energy drinks that can make you get a boost of energy but crash quickly, while also putting a lot of sugar in your body. Rogue Energy comes in 4 unique product lines to best suit your personal needs. Their low-calorie, no-sugar energy formula is the perfect alternative to sugar-filled canned energy drinks and sodas. Their extreme formula provides the most energy, focus, and sports performance possible. Their hydration line offers focus ingredients without the added caffeine. Drink it anytime you're thirsty. Finally, their shake formula is a delicious zero-calorie energy milkshake. The thing that also makes Rogue Energy unique from other powdered drinks is that it dissolves really well, and you won't find any of the chalky textures in your drink. With over 10 different flavors to choose from, we at Coda Sports Gambling Network definitely recommend Rogue Energy. Go to their website, rogueenergy.com, and use the promo code CODA to receive 10% off your order. Again, rogueenergy.com and use the promo code CODA, K-O-T-A. Let's talk about the big games from college football last weekend. Obviously, my Sooners, guys, going down to Baylor. It was a tough one. I made a little video about that on Twitter. Basically just saying, in a way, it's freeing because I knew as an OU fan, OU wasn't going to win the whole thing. I knew that. But still, it was kind of embarrassing in a way to lose in that fashion. 27-14, and it really wasn't that close, especially the second half was just hopeless every drive. And it is what it is. Most of the big teams all pulled out victories, including the Michigan Wolverines, who had a narrow victory over Penn State, but they won. And Penn State's a better team. They weren't ranked, but obviously we've seen Penn State play in plenty of big stages. They're a good team. They probably should have been ranked, but either way, good victory for Michigan. Oklahoma State had a really nice win over TCU, 63-17. Oklahoma State's a team I think right now is hot as anybody. I think they're playing great defense. Their offense is starting to figure it out. I mean, anytime you score 63, I've talked about plenty of times how bad TCU's defense is, but scoring 63 for this Oklahoma State team is dangerous because in the past, even against bad teams, they weren't getting to 50. So something's going right for the Cowpokes in Stillwater. Wake Forest got a big win over in-state rival NC State, 45-42 in a wild game. It went right down to the end, which is what we kind of expected from this matchup. I mean, NC State is a solid team. I've talked about them before earlier in the season in this podcast. A good, solid team with a bunch of veteran players, but so is Wake Forest. Wake Forest is that same kind of team where, all these super seniors, Sam Hartman doing his thing, 45-42. I wish I had the over. I kind of thought NC State would make a few plays on defense and Wake Forest would do the same because both those teams have veteran defenses, but the offenses definitely prevailed on that day. Mississippi State pulled off a massive comeback victory. Funnily enough, they were down 28-3 to Auburn and came all the way back, and this is in Auburn's backyard, and got a massive win, 43-34 after trailing 28-3 in the first half. 28-3 is the most cursed number in sports. I don't care what anyone says. Never go up 28-3. Like miss the extra point or go for two or do something. Just avoid 28-3. Other than that, it's pretty chalk Saturday as far as Saturdays go these days. Real quickly, let's get into the CFP rankings going into week 12. Georgia obviously staying at number 1, 10-0. Alabama at number 2, 9-1. Oregon at number 3, 9-1. Ohio State right there, number 4, 9-1. Cincinnati at 5, 10-0. Going to be interesting to watch them down the stretch. Can they find a way into the playoff? Be the first group of 5 team to make it in. At number 6, we still have Michigan Wolverines, 9-1, 7 right behind them. Michigan State Spartans still kind of have a problem with that since Michigan State beat them on the field and it was fair and square. I think it's been rumored that part of the reason Michigan State's behind Michigan is because the committee feels like some of the calls went Michigan State's way down the stretch. And I'm here to say, committee, that's not your job. You guys look at the results on the field, what happened. You take it all into consideration, including the final score, and then you spit out a fair rankings. I believe that Michigan is ranked ahead of Michigan State, literally for money, and I've been on that take for a while. You guys know if you've listened to the podcast, it's all a sham. We do it anyway because we love college football. It's just the way it is. So Notre Dame comes in at number 8 at 9-1. Oklahoma State Cowboys, talked about them a little bit earlier, 9-1. They're coming in at number 9, and right behind them, Wake Forest at 9-1. Then the top-ranked 2-loss team is the Baylor Bears, and why not? They've got some great wins on this year. One of their losses comes from Oklahoma State, who I just talked about is a great team, and it was, it wasn't a close game with Oklahoma State, but it was a winnable game for them at times. And at 12, Ole Miss, and 13, Oklahoma. I'd like to see OU ranked above Ole Miss, but I get it. I mean, I can't really make a ton of arguments for OU right now. They're just not playing their best football. It is what it is. We'll move on. But my thoughts on the CFP as a whole, they snuck Mississippi State in there at 25 just to have another ranked bullet point for Bama's resume and these other SEC teams' resume. It makes Texas A&M look a little better because obviously they lost to Mississippi State. It's just tiring, I guess. It's the same old story every weekend, and it's a sham. It just is, and it's too bad because I think college football fans deserve better. We cheer for a great sport. I think most people that watch college football agree it's really, really fun, if nothing else. Maybe it's not the NFL in terms of parity. Obviously, we've got the same teams in the top 7 that have been there. But it's still a fun product. It's still the pageantry that comes with college football. We deserve the best possible. Me, personally, I wish we had an expanded playoff, at least 12. My original idea was just make it 6 for now. Just make it 6, 1 and 2 get a bye. I just think that's a solid idea. Then 1 and 2 seed stuff to win as many games as they normally do. And this year, Georgia may just win it all anyway. I need to look at the futures real quick to see what Georgia's number is right now in the national championship because as far as I'm concerned, they're probably the only team that can do it. So Georgia's minus 125, probably not the best value. I would just suggest if you don't already have them, don't take them now. The value's just not there, but that just goes to show you, I don't know if I've ever seen with this many games left in a season, a team to win the national championship minus 125. Maybe Bama last year. I don't know. I wasn't looking at futures this late in the season last year, but pretty interesting. Alabama at plus 400, Ohio State at plus 400, Oregon at plus 2,000. So you can really see the committee sees there to be 3 sort of legitimate teams, and that's Georgia, Alabama, Ohio State. And then it's Oregon, Oklahoma, funny enough, is the next team, and then Cincinnati and Michigan. And they are 20-1 plus odds. So really seems like it's a 3-team race according to Vegas right now. All right, and let's wrap the show up looking ahead to this weekend's big games. Georgia plays a cupcake. They play Charleston Southern this week. I have a feeling that Georgia probably will win that one. But a big matchup going down into Columbus, Ohio. It's 11 a.m. It's on ABC. 11 a.m. if you're Central. Michigan State at Ohio State. That's going to be a barn burner. I'm already telling you right now, Michigan State's going to put up more of a fight than people think. The line right now is Ohio State minus 19. I don't know. I mean, it's tough to bet against the Buckeyes offense right now, and honestly, they line up pretty well against Michigan State's weaknesses on defense, which is they can't defend the pass. CJ Stroud right now throwing lasers all over the field. I just talked myself maybe into Ohio State. We'll see on the next show. Arkansas at Alabama. The line is Alabama minus 21. It's tempting on Arkansas. Arkansas can really control the line of scrimmage on both offense and defense, and we've already seen when Bama struggled with teams, it's because they got dominated on the line of scrimmage. I think they're susceptible there this year. We'll see. We'll see if Arkansas has it or not. They're starting to get a little bit healthier, highly motivated. Obviously, this game's in Tuscaloosa, but it's 2:30. It's that kind of middle slot of the CFB day, so we'll see. Maybe the Razorbacks can at least make it interesting. And a big one I'm already looking at. This is kind of Pac-12 after dark. It's really just Pac-12 in prime time. Oregon at Utah. The line is Utah minus 3. You're going to tell me Oregon's the number 3 team in the country, but that Utah, barely ranked, they're number 23, is going to be favored. And honestly, if I was going to pick a side, I'm going to tell you right now, I'd be on Utah because I've said many times on this pod, I think Utah's playing some good football right now, and I don't totally believe in Anthony Brown and the Oregon Ducks. But yeah, that's most of the big games this weekend, guys. Like I said, stay locked into the Twitter account at Potato Gobbler. We will be dropping some picks through the Coda Sports Cappers. I want to give another big shout out to the Coda Sports Gambling Network for picking me up. That's the big news this week. Very excited to be a part of that group. So look out for some awesome content coming forward. I've got some really big ideas and can't wait to kind of get to showcase, what I can do for them. So the first article I put up, Cash Toledo minus 7. Going to be putting up another as you hear this podcast on Wednesday, November 17th. I'll have a play. So keep your eye out on that. It'll be a midweek action game, but we're getting hot at the right time, folks. I'm telling you right now. Keep it locked in right here. Big shout out to Rogue Energy for sponsoring, and a big shout out to the Coda Cappers as well. Excited to be a part of this. And I hope you guys like this new show. If you do, let me know. If you don't, DM me and let me know what you think and what I could change. It's a new show. I'm going to be doing 2 a week. Like I said, it's a little more work, but I'm excited to do it. And I want to deliver you guys the best CFB content I can here on Not Another College Football Pod. We're on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple, and that hasn't changed. Hit me up on Twitter, guys. Let's have a good time. Peace.